Hello and welcome to the winners for our second last day of football for the year, preliminary final day. In the program, all the best of the action from the game at Waverley between Geelong and Collingwood for the right to meet Carlton in next week's grand final, and interviews in both rooms with Collingwood's captain Peter Moore and Geelong coach Billy Goggin. And later on, a moment that thousands of you will be waiting for when we announce the winners of our competition for Mark of the Year and Goal of the Year. But now, straight to the game. Well, Collingwood had got there by that heart-stopping win last week over Fitzroy when the Magpies won the minor semi-final by a point. Geelong had beaten Collingwood on the first day of finals in the qualifying match, but had been disgraced by Carlton to the tune of 40 points last week. But Geelong were favoured because the Magpies now were without champion ruckman Peter Moore, first-year find Andrew Smith, and rock-hard back pocket Stan Magro, all injured and all leaving big gaps. Well, back came Craig Stewart and a man whose career had appeared finished, Ian Cooper, and in first gamer Noel Lovell. Geelong's only loss was wingman Michael Turner, out with broken ribs. Well, most judges were thinking that Carlton and Geelong, who played last week, would meet again next week in the grand final. The crowd at VFL Park, 69,000, and we pick it up at the opening bounce, and with me are Tim Lane and Peter Booth. Stuart Atkin with a big job to replace Peter Moore in the first ruck against Mossop. Mossop wins it out of the centre. Whitcomb, Geelong into a slight breeze in the first quarter. Dacos for Collingwood. Up towards half forward flank Davis, who was tackled high in a very tiggy touchwood one. Free kick Craig Davis.
Named on a half-back flank. Obviously hasn't lined up there. What a mammoth kick. Fading away to the pocket. Stewart, who's lined up at full forward for Collingwood. Touched, and now a throw in. Collingwood deep in attack in the first 40 seconds of play in the preliminary final.
Mossop number 10, Stewart number 9. Mossop uses his body well, gets it down towards Bruns, kicked away up towards half-back, knock on by Geelong. Atkin, punch, out to the flank. Barham, onto Tony Shaw, who wrong foots himself. This could go anywhere, and the mark is taken by Peake. It was touch play on, taken by Bruns again from half-back, around the wing, and the mark taken by Collingwood's Allen.
Graham Allen, just outside of left half forward. Collingwood a slight breeze at their backs in the first quarter. Down towards the forward pocket. Big pack. Mossop at the back. Knocked on by Stewart. Comes back to Stewart. Umpire lets it go for a while, but eventually has no option but to ball it up in the forward pocket.
Peter Cameron and Mike Dye, two of the younger brigade, taking this big match. Tony Shaw, clever kick into full forward. Ray Shaw, yes! Good grab in front of Nankervis, the two captains. Ray Shaw deposed this year by Peter Moore, but he's at the helm with Moore out with that hamstring injury. And a great start, inspiring start. Can he cap it off? Yes, he can. The Woods are on the scoreboard. The skipper's done the trick.
Atkin from the right of your screen, Mossop from the left. The bounce favours Mossop a bit, although a bit of shepherding in the ruck there, as it turned out. Taken away by Boss. Out to Reynoldson. Pickham late on the scene. Reynoldson marks deep on the half-forward line. Blake leads. McCormack on Blake. 15 metres against Peckham for creeping up the mark.
Vital one too, Peter. He's within scoring distance now.
About 50 metres out from goal. Big Rod Blake back in the goal area. Atkin dropping back. It won't make it. Blake up. He's got it! And could the Magpies be in trouble with height again on the back line? They had Chris Perry as an emergency, but they elected to go with Cooper, and Blake has scored Geelong's first goal. Scores a level after 3 minutes of play in the VFL preliminary final. Collingwood by 15 points to 9. 21 and a half minutes in the first quarter. Oh, Blake easily at the bright. Toomey there, grabbed him almost on the impact of the ball as he grabbed it. And a free kick going to Taylor. Being held by the arm. He best come inboard, I think, because the Magpies are losing hopelessly on that far wing. Whitcomb, Barham out of the way. Rayshaw overran the ball, but not Dacos. Down towards Stewart. Tony Shaw off the pack. It beats the pack completely. He needs some legs here. Ian Nankervis, shepherded him by Malaki, but he's going the wrong way. He's bottled up. Gets a call from Murray, and he marks safely half-back flank.
Really good, confident back pocket play there by Ian Nankervis to paddle the ball, in fact, back towards goal. But he knew he had the ball. That's a great mark to Mark Yates at centre half back. 15-metre penalty. Out to centre wing looking for Bruns. Holding the ball.
Great tackle by the big man, Atkin. I gave him no hope then against Speedy Bruns, but he was too good for him. Up to half forward, Williams from the side courageously. Now Davis again, he could just about kick it, 55 metres. It's a bad one. Shaw. Nankervis, well done. Hurdled over the top, now out to his brother, who takes it over the line as you saw. Collingwood's left half forward flank.
The Magpies, so typical of so many performances this year, not looking good on the ground, but being with their beak in front on the scoreboard. Brewer, Peake, half-back flank. Rendleson, Atkin and Picken the punch from behind. Roving to it is Neil. Rendleson goes in when he shouldn't have, because it goes to Barham. Barham runs through the centre square, into centre half forward. I don't think it's going to make it. It's drifting offline. It's coming back a bit, but not enough. And through for another behind to Collingwood. They're 2-4-16 to Geelong 1-3-9.
Just over a minute away from time on in the first quarter. Grandstand side, Williams and Peake. Williams in front this time. Held by the arm. Free kick to Mark Williams. Left half forward. Short pass. Good lead, Dacos. Well within kicking distance for Peter Dacos. And the one which put Collingwood back to within 4 points last week at the MCG was a lot easier than this, or a lot more difficult than this. So Peter Dacos should kick this. His distance couldn't be more than 40 metres. And he does it with ease. Goal umpire didn't move. Collingwood have a bit of a break now. Approaching the 25-minute mark, they lead 22-9.
Collingwood go into the second quarter with a 14-point advantage. Umpire Cameron to bounce, and Blake on the ball for Geelong after playing it full forward. Now Mossop is down there in the spearhead. Tony Shaw winning the hard ball, as he so often does. Kink, oh, strong play, opens it up for Collingwood to Dacos. Now Williams, shot for goal coming up from about 40 metres out. Put himself under pressure, but goals! Or didn't he? Push in the back, and he'll get a free kick and can now line them up. A set shot from 30 metres out. Obviously a conference between the umpires, I'd say, and the shot must have missed.
So hit the post.
Hit the post, Tim.
So Williams now from, well, point-blank range, really. Seventh kick. He's been a very effective player for Collingwood, and this could be a really telling kick. Awkward but good. Collingwood's fourth, and that is a very handy break against a Geelong side which really does lack firepower up forward.
The Magpies by 20 points, a minute 30 seconds into the second quarter. Blake, a prodigious punch. It goes to Rendleson and Picken. Picken underneath it will get the free kick. The Magpies had 12 free kicks to 8 in the first quarter, which now makes it 14 free kicks to 8 after that last one of Williams. Barham. And he's off. In the centre half forward, shepherding from Kink.
Charge. Oh, yes. Kink saying he used the shoulder. Umpire Cameron, I think, claiming that it was a high tackle, but as disappointed as Collingwood might be, I don't think they'll be too upset in some ways, because Kink showed great strength and the type of stuff that he doesn't show often enough. Perhaps they would have enjoyed it.
Ian Nankervis goes for the short pass. Oh, it's badly directed. Featherby under pressure from Allen, but he backhands the ball into play. Zane Taylor paddling, caught by Allen. Held and not in possession was umpire Cameron, and the free kick goes to Zane Taylor as Neville Bruns takes some treatment after the heavy knock he received from Kink. Here's a defensive mark to Bill Picken, who ran half the length of the ground to congratulate Kink on his endeavour.
And Neville Bruns might be thinking at the moment that lightning has struck twice in the same spot. In fact, he probably doesn't know what hit him. He was taken off in the first couple of minutes last week. Good mark by Hawkins. Nice hand pass over the top to Reynoldson. Promising move by the Cats. Yates now lines them up. It's home. Good goal. So Geelong hit back.
Umpire Dye just warning the two centre players not to impede the ruckman. Blake again. Bright. Reynoldson picking with his eye on the ball. Punched away by Byrne. Knock on by Toomey. Kink. Sideways on Bruns.
He got Bruns again.
A free kick. Peak. On to Blake. On to Neil, who steadies. A long kick by Neil. Up towards Big Mossop. That's Cooper if it's a mark. Bruns coming off the ground for Geelong. Cooper, the hand pass onto Toomey. Out to Atkin. We better get rid of it. There's no support there. Shocking kick, Reynoldson, who trapped it fairly well for a big fellow. Tons of time to steady. Now Mossop from behind. McCormack doubling back with Mossop. No pressure on the player kicking the ball down.
Hang your head, Stuart Atkin, because that's where that move started. Woeful bit of football.
25 metres out, just wide of half forward. Mossop, the star against Collingwood. He kicked 7 goals 2 weeks ago. A crucial kick, and it's straight. That's Geelong's third, and Collingwood lead by 8 points. The Magpies by 14 points. Wiedemann. Yates up high. Neil. Good tackle. Barham's free kick. Half-back flank. Ray Shaw, Peak from the side. Almost gave away a free kick. Good play by Peak. He was outnumbered 2-1 and did it very well indeed.
Oh, it really came from nowhere then. Wiedemann in against Blake. Oh, straight into the arms of Allen from Blake. On to Ray Shaw. Half forward. Good chase by Zane Taylor. Stewart at full forward on Malarkey. Oh, almost there for Kink. Still a chance for Collingwood as Brewer doubles back there. Grabbed by Murray. Picked up by Allen. Caught by Featherby. Craig Stewart a long way out. He's back in the centre square. Crowd yelled holding the ball about 4 times in a row then. Umpire said play on. Taylor for the Cats.
Towards half forward, towards Reynoldson it is. He had the set but couldn't hold the mark. Now Neil, Whitcomb, one of the quiet small brigade. Bruns within scoring distance. Is it there? Yes, it is. Delayed reaction from the crowd. It must have been close, but it's a goal to Geelong and a badly needed one. Brings them back to within 8 points.
Second quarter, 20 minutes in. Wiedemann doing reasonably well. Allen out to Williams. Collingwood forward again. Brewer their only bet. Murray there. In fact, he's outnumbered with Malarkey coming in, which means Stewart's by himself somewhere. But Brewer gives up reasonably easily and taken away nicely by Murray. Taylor of Collingwood. Wiedemann. Back to Murray again. And he marks just inside the boundary.
Young Noel Lovell warming up on the boundary line, about to come on and play his first game of league football in a preliminary final. Some all-time stars have done that, including Len Thompson, also at Collingwood. Kink dropped the ball in the tackle, picked up by Williams, up towards half forward, picking on the forward line, unmarked, Brewer. Brewer dashes away, gets around Blake easily, right foots it for goal, hasn't got the distance. Shepherded through by Ray Shaw, but he pushed his opponent in the back. Free kick to Ian Curtis.
Ross Brewer hobbling, and it looks as if he's coming off for Lovell to come on. No doubt at all about that free kick. That was a blatant shove out by Ray Shaw, and again we see a player trying to bend the rules. And then Curtis as Brewer comes off, and what a moment for Noel Lovell. First senior game, and he's thrown into the The heat of a preliminary final. Now Nankervis. Oh, open space here for Geelong. Whitcomb, who's had a bad day, and the ball beats him to the line. Some days they bounce for you, some days they just run away from you.
He's having his second day in a row like that, though.
Collingwood 37, Geelong 29. 22 minutes in the quarter. Nice knock by Blake. Well, free kick to Geelong in the back to Bruce Nankervis. Near the defensive point of the square, kick number 6. Collingwood again outnumbered out there, but they seem to do it well. Lovell just on the ground and lucky not to be penalised. Neal, half-volley job by Barham. It finds Byrne, Collingwood's best player. Out to Davis, who's always on the move on the forward line. Tapped it to himself. Needs support from Tony Shaw. Back to Davis again. Tons of time to steady. A driving kick, but it's into the pocket. And in fact, it's out on the full. And the Magpies now wasting valuable opportunities. They lead by only 8 points.
Davis has kicked 2 behinds and 1 out of bounds. Ian Nankervis' kick. Barham at the back. Yates. Chance for Peake. Little hand pass into a nest of players. Oh, Yates, you put it down. Play on, said umpire Dye. Lucky comes to Peake. Sweeping hand pass to Hawkins. Back to Bruns. Through centre wing he goes. Cats back into attack. Centre half forward, Reynoldson.
Strong mark. A long way from goal, though, about 65 metres out, or 70 perhaps. But he looks as if he's having a shot. Taylor went for it confidently and should have held it. And the ball up deep in the Cats' attacking zone, and they'll be looking for a goal. 23.5 minutes gone. Collingwood leading by 8 points. Really tight finals match. Mossop, well tackled. Lovell to Kink, who also played his first senior game in a final. Wiedemann. A lot of time for Collingwood here. Picken, now Allen. Kink, strength, too strong. Great play. Oh, he's run a long way and been penalised. Bad luck. He tried very hard, and then I thought it deserved a slightly better fate.
Bruns, kick number 11. Bright. Oh, nearly. Whitcomb onto Bright. Over the cross to Lunn. Open goal. 20 metres out. And kicks Geelong's 5th.
Almost entering time on. Blake starting to win in the middle now. Bruce Nankervis. What a task he's got on the bulk of the Hulk.
Oh,
at the back, Williams.
Across ground, but good positional play by Barham. To Tony Shaw. Oh, bad fumble. Still Barham. Well done by Peake, who's getting better as the game wears on. Byrne from behind. Clean spoil. Lunn. Oh, solid stuff, Wiedemann. That was a good bump. Nicely to Williams, and away go the Woods. This game is swinging up and down like a seesaw. Hawkins in front.
Oh.
Push in the back. Takes the free kick at half-back for the Cats.
And young Wiedemann, very much like his dad back in 1958 with that beautiful hip and shoulder then. He's got a big job. Hawkins half-back. Barham. No, it's Byrne, in fact, but he's been paid a push and not the mark. Kick number 13 to Rayburn. 26 minutes, second quarter. The Magpies 37, the Cats 35. Never side wing, just in the shade. About 70,000 people. Peake beats them all. Whoops, Malaki. Little indecisive then. Taylor put his body in. And I thought gave away a free kick, but he's going to get it. Not much marking power down there for Collingwood now. In fact, there's none. So the Rovers are needed off the pack. Out of bounds, Collingwood's right forward pocket. 26 minutes and 40 seconds.
Ray Shaw and then Curtis.
The Magpies can do without that. Close to half-time.
He is not a good leader, Ray Shaw. He's done it before. He's the acting skipper today. And in the year when he was captain, he gave away some dreadful free kicks. Boss, kick smothered. Williams, good endeavour. The ball held to him, ruled umpire Cameron, and he'll ball it up. But a scoring chance for Collingwood, and they lead by 2 points, 2 minutes into time on.
Yes, a goal either way would be very handy before the long interval. Blake from behind Stewart, too tall. Davis controlled it well. Oh, Brooks should have gone for the mark, Stewart, and the Cats out of trouble through Whitcomb. Don't know whether there'd been a play on call, but gee, that looked like a gift. Now Zane Taylor for the Cats. Places it well for Bruns, and they open up play again. Goes long. Didn't have all that much to kick to. It beat Bright. Now Reynolds in the big chance. There's no one between him and the... Oh, yes, there are two players. Over the top it comes. Open goal for Mossop. And the Cats are in front. Second goal to Mossop.
Third term underway at VFL Park, with Geelong leading at half-time by 3 points. Atkin back on the ground for Collingwood. He went off midway through that second quarter. Will emerge. Taylor, Tony Shaw thought about a hand pass. Kink, who's been pretty unlucky today. He's been very unlucky on a few exchanges. A long kick down towards Stewart. One hand not good enough. Roving off the pack. Dacos. Goal. That's his third, and Collingwood back in front by 3 points after 40 seconds in the third quarter.
The margin 3 points, but this time Collingwood in front. Blake beats Atkin. Atkin ran about 20 metres at that one. Williams out of the centre. Bounces through centre half forward. Barham with pace. In front of Yates, but gets a bad bounce at the last minute. Bruce Nankervis paddles across the half-back line. Kink, good control. Well done, Rene King. Uses up all the ground, hooks it back. Oh! Magnificent goal, Rene King.
Two goals to Collingwood in the first 2 minutes of the third quarter, and the Woods burst out of the centre through Williams. Up to the half-forward line. Davis gets a lucky bounce. And away he goes. Ray Shaw comes from behind. Outpointed by Nankervis. And has paid the mark. The Geelong skipper had position and judgment then, did it well, and now finds Murray.
Murray on to Bruce Nankervis. Whitcomb calling for it. He might go inboard to Lunn. We'll wait and see. Pick number 7. No, he's looking for Whitcomb, who's had a fairly ordinary day. He takes the mark in front of Lovell, playing on the wing for Collingwood. Whitcomb's fourth kick. Down to Reynoldson, picking in front. Oh, it beats the pack completely. Neal, good ball control. Bright calling for it, but it won't go quite that way. Bruns, oh, good tackle on Lunn. Too high. Against Toomey. Lunn has scored a goal. He is only 25 metres out on a slight angle. Collingwood by 9 points. Lunn. And it's a goal. Collingwood 7-8, Geelong 7-5, Lunn second.
Collingwood will be hoping that Atkins' reappearance after half-time will lift them, and he wins this tap too, uncontested, long way from Blake, but they can't get it out of the centre. It's Blake who in fact handballs over the top to Zane Taylor. Taylor to full forward, Bright in the forward pocket, outnumbered 2-1. It spills to Featherby, the handball to Mossop. Should be a goal here. Lunn in the goal square, and the Cats back in front. Third to Stephen Lunn.
On the far side, umpire Cameron. Crowd about 73,000 people. Geelong by 5 points. Atkin. Nicely down to Ray Shaw. He can have a couple of bounces. Even draw a play. He could have gone further. Down towards Stewart. And Geelong having no trouble with Ian Nankervis getting the ball nicely across to Hawkins. Tons of time to look for somebody to dispose the ball to, and that somebody is Taylor. Taylor caught. Allen grabbed high. It spills out towards Yates. Geelong go forward again. Intercepted hand pass by Byrne. He's played a crackerjack game. Toomey completely out of touch today. Bruns down looking for Mossop. Bright is there too. Collingwood defending. McCormack. Handball out to Cooper. Rayshaw's out there by himself if he finds him. He does. Now Shaw can have 3 or 4 bounces or he fumbles. He's got to get past Peake. High hand pass to Williams. Williams, far side wing. A dabby kick down towards full forward. Collingwood mark, yes. King, taken by Rene King, about 25 to 30 metres out from goal. And somehow Geelong playing the better football for about 15 minutes of this third quarter. They should be 3 or 4 goals in front. But in typical Collingwood fashion, the way they're playing football this year, they're still just a kick behind. Terry Bright going off the ground. Jeffries coming on as Kink has put the Magpies back in front. That's his second goal. Collingwood 56, Geelong 55.
Collingwood 56 to 55. Blake in the centre again. Bruns. Rayshaw the tackler. Irwin. High kick to half forward. Murray charges straight at the ball but overruns. Here's Taylor, number 28. Fumbles but gets it back. On to Dacos. Danger player. Good tackle, Boss. Loses the ball in the tackle. Play on rules the umpire as Murray gathers and breaks from half-back flank. Blake unmarked on centre wing. Chest mark. And the Geelong player saying, go long. Took one high and Blake is down like a big oak tree. The kick to the forward pocket. Jeffries just back on, but he came from a hopeless position. Still gets the ball. Lund ducks his head. Weaves through them. Left foot snap. Is offline and a behind. Scores level at the 19.5-minute mark.
Well, and there's a bit of a box on.
The reason why that a Geelong player kicked Billy Picken in the head whilst he was on the ground. That's the reason.
Scores level. McCormack out to the members' side. Barham front position against Yates. Neal. All pressured, I thought, by Allen. He gets a free kick, but well, he must have been close to being in possession. Forward of the centre line. Kicks over half forward. Mossop the sit. Plenty against him. Chance for Bruns. Taylor, open goal. Oh, he dropped it. Now kicks a goal. You were lucky, Zane Taylor. Well may you smile now. But it looked grim for a moment. The Cats back in front by one straight kick.
Geelong 62, Collingwood 56. Blake easily. Tony Shaw knowing that, roves nicely. Collingwood undermanned by one player out there. Murray. Into half forward, Reynoldsson dropping short to Picken. He loves those on his chest. On to Rayburn, who must be running out of legs today. He's played a crackerjack game, a shocking kick disposal-wise, and it's out of bounds. Burns' 15th kick. A crucial time now, 21.5 minutes in the third quarter. About 8 minutes remaining in the quarter, a crucial time for both teams.
Geelong by one straight kick. Stewart against Blake this time. Blake's beating them all, but this one straight back towards the boundary line, and another throw in. Looked ominous for Collingwood when Atkin left the ground halfway through the second quarter, and they looked like having to see out the game without a number 1 tap ruckman. But he's come back in the second half. Blake beats Stewart again, no problem. Whitcomb, left foot's at the half-forward flank. Lunn, playing from behind. Toomey, oh, bit slow, David Toomey. Lunn looking for the kick, but it wasn't there. It's going to be a free kick to Collingwood. High tackle on Picken, and a 15-metre penalty.
Billy directing traffic. And he might borrow the whistle from the umpire there for a moment. Gives it nicely to Williams. On to Tony Shaw. Over half forward. Davis comes from behind, but all Geelong in front, and that was a solid mark to Hawkins at half back.
Plays around Davis. His target is Taylor all by himself. Players coming into the front. Away he goes. Mossop leads. Mossop doubles back from the side. Cooper. A chance for Jeffries. Oh, he fumbled. Puts it over the line.
Give it to Jeffries.
It wasn't. I think it came off Jeffries' boot. And it trickled along, and Mossop was late on the scene, but I'm sure it was over the line when Mossop got there, and the goal umpire right on hand, a perfect view, giving the goal to Paul Jeffries of Geelong. The Cats lead by 2 goals.
So a ball up at centre-half forward for the Cats. Amazing, 6.5 minutes in this final term and no score. It's just a hard slog, and that's the way it looks like remaining. Michael Taylor, nicely to Atkin. Picks up a few kicks, the big fellow, but Whitcomb's there. Judged it nicely to Ian Nankervis, a long way down the ground. Beautiful pass to Peake on the half-forward flank.
Kick number 13 to Peake. How many for Williams, Greg? 17 kicks to Williams, his opponent, who's on the mark. Peake 65 metres out. All set for Mossop, this one, if he's good enough. Oh, nearly a great goal by Bruns, but couldn't get enough momentum off the boot. And the first score of the final term, 7 minutes and 10 seconds in. Geelong 10-9-69, Collingwood 9-10-64.
And Johnston is back on the ground for Geelong. Stephen Reynoldsson, the man who's gone off, the youngster who did so well in this corresponding game 2 weeks ago and has hardly had a kick since. And here's a fine overhead mark to Peter Featherby at centre-half forward. And Featherby coming up for his 19th kick, and it's a shocker.
He's done that a few times
He
today.
has. That's his opponent taking the mark. Tony Shaw onto McCormack from half-back flank.
Kicks to the wing, but Collingwood with nothing to kick to. Dacos forced to go. The spoil from behind has not got the centimetres, and it was easy for Boss. Long floating kick, really floating. Atkin the spoil at the back. And goes Johnston to contest with Cooper. He's a tigerish player, Cooper, but again nothing to kick to for Collingwood. Peake in the way. He's forward of the centre line. Much too far out to score, but puts it right in scoring territory. That is a mammoth kick. Jeffries up. Bruns the rover. Snap is home. Second goal, Neville Bruns, and that is a crucial one for the Cats. Their margin is 11 points.
The onus right on Collingwood now. They trail by 11 points. Great knock by Blake. It goes to Dacos. But again, nobody home for Collingwood. Nankervis will be paid the mark at centre-half back. He'll go out wide looking for a Boss. He's had 17 kicks, Nankervis. In fact, it's Taylor out there. Featherby. Allen late on the scene. 15 metres. For a player who's done very little today, he couldn't afford to give one away. Couldn't afford to give half a kick. In fact, there's 2 lots of 15. And Featherby now. Now, big Mossop, Johnston down there too, but behind the pack is Cooper. The Rock of Gibraltar. On to Taylor. Now, Toomey's done very little. In fact, I think he's only had a couple of kicks today. Wiedemann must be on. Gets a call from Barham. Around the members' wing. Collingwood outnumbered again. Irwin their only chance, and he's being paid because he's in front.
Very doubtful.
Now Stewart, kick roving off the pack. Kick roving off the pack. He's got the front position. A good bounce. Murray, he's outnumbered 2-1. Caught by Malaki. Gets it back into the pocket. And Bruce Nankervis makes sure the ball just goes over with him. Geelong by 11 points. The Magpies into attack.
Atkins off the ground. Wiedemann came on to replace him about a minute ago. Blake wins another tap. Goes to King. Snap from the pocket. Oh, what a goal!
Second miracle goal by Rene King. Oh, dear. .5 minutes gone. The Cats by 5 points. Irwin, very quiet player for Collingwood. Again kicking badly. Nankervis lets it go over the line. Not very positive play, although two Collingwood players bearing down, so perhaps wise.
Barham getting some criticism from the bench then and answering back to...
17 minutes played, final term. Geelong led by 5 points. Yates, desperation in keeping the ball under his control. Atkin about to come on for Collingwood. Wiedemann, Boss, down to Taylor. Knock on by Boss, finds Byrne. Bit of fumbling now, the pressure's really on. Featherby for his umpteenth kick. Toomey. Cooper. No mark paid to Cooper. Jeffries, grabbed. He ducked his head. Oh. It's going the right way. It's going Collingwood's way. He ducked his head.
Yes, I agree. I misinterpreted the umpire.
Toomey not kicking long at all for a big man. Boss in trouble, not for long though. Caught. Collingwood free kick. Irwin. Dacos leads into the pocket. He's marked. He's a long way out from goal. He played on foolishly, trying to give himself a bit of room. Lines up. Kicks for goal. It's a Collingwood goal. To Peter Dacos, and in a virtual replay of last week's match, the Magpies hit the front at the 18-minute mark in the final term.
11 goals apiece and Collingwood in front by a point. Atkin back on the ground, but Blake continues to beat whoever he comes up against. Yates beats Barham. The pass to half forward, Jeffries just got there. Left half forward, and there was an elbow in the face, and they wanted to carry on with it. Ian Cooper. Didn't seem to be a lot in it.
No 15-metre penalty, which was a bit staggering.
Oh, gee, Ian Cooper went off as though he'd been ignited then. Now here goes Paul Jeffries with his kick from left half forward. 25 metres short. Wasn't a good kick. Chest mark Tony Shaw.
19 and a half minutes gone, and those Collingwood hearts must be really pounding. It was 1 point last week. They're a point in front now, and here go the Cats. That was a good mark by Yates. In towards Mossop. No, not a positive enough effort. Allen to Williams, and away go Collingwood. What's the decision? High tackle. Free kick to Williams. Volatile Geelong crowd. Up to half forward. The lead from Davis. He must be just about exhausted. He's given it everything. Takes it over the line. And the ball up. It's in Collingwood's attacking half. 20 minutes gone.
Ricky Barham not attacking the ball. He hasn't really attacked the ball all this quarter. The Magpies by a point at the 20-minute mark in the last quarter. There's Barham now, the umpire in the way. He's deep on the half-forward line. He can line up, have a deliberate shot. It's curving, but not enough. In fact, it's out on the full. A free kick to Geelong, going to Ian Nankervis, and Barham's kicking has been very much astray this quarter. 18 kicks to Barham.
3 times Barham's kicked out of bounds on the full in the last quarter. Good kick by Nankervis. Blake knocks to the back, but the Collingwood Geelong players didn't read it too well. However, there'll be a free kick to Brian Peake at left half back.
Drew, in the match so far, Geelong has been in front 5 times, Collingwood 5 times, and scores have been level 4 times.
Here's Peake from half back. Collingwood lead by a point. Monster kick by Peake. Centre wing. Another fine mark to Cooper. And he's been brilliant, and his best quarter has been this one. That's 9 marks to Ian Cooper in his comeback game.
15-metre penalty, which is very handy. Reynoldson back on is on the mark, and Cooper now on true centre wing. Kink from behind. Yes! Clean grab, not paid, but he runs on. Chips it over to Davis. Doesn't quite find him. Collingwood chance. 2 of them collide. Still a chance for the Woods. Davis, 20 metres out. It's there! Collingwood lead by 7 points. And Ian Cooper being congratulated at the other end of the ground for starting that move. But there's Craig Davis, his first goal 22 minutes gone, and that is a very substantial lead.
And there was no further score for the remainder of the game. Collingwood won it by 7 points, 12-10 to 11 goals 9 in a low-scoring affair. Goal kickers for Collingwood, Dacos got 4, Kink 3 and Stewart kicked 2, and for Geelong, Lunn and Mossop each kicked 3 and Bruns kicked 2 goals. A fluctuating game. Collingwood led by 14 points at quarter time, then the Cats by 3 at half time and 4 at three-quarter time before Collingwood came back again. Well, the general feeling after the game was that Collingwood had worked another miracle. Lucky to come from behind to beat Fitzroy last week by a point, they'd done the Houdini act again with a depleted team to upset the favourites Geelong by 7 points. So, from a position where they could have finished 4th, the Magpies are in the grand final for the 4th year in 5 years, and it's the old Collingwood versus Carlton again. And it looked as though the loss of Peter Moore would be too much to overcome. But now, with an extra week to get over his hamstring injury, would he be fit for the grand final? Well, that's the question that Peter Booth put to him after the game.
Going for us.
Will you be back?
Well, I'll just do as much as I can to prove my fitness, and I'll have to have a test on Thursday night to determine whether I can play or not, but I'll just be doing as much as I can.
You might do a David Cloak and just stop up in the forward pocket all day like last year.
If I play, I'll be able to play properly. I don't believe that I can play if I'm half fit, because it'll let the players down, let myself down, let everybody else down. But hopefully I'll be fit enough to play, an active part in the game.
And finally, Peter, can a battered and bruised Collingwood extend Carlton next week to the extent of winning the flag?
Well, it's a difficult problem. We've played as many games as what we had to play last year, by virtue of the fact that we lost our last game and then our first final. So Carlton will probably have the edge in fitness and will be a lot fresher than us. But in grand finals, anything can happen. So I suppose you'd have to say they have got a bit of an advantage. But, it's a grand final, and as I say, anything can happen. And we'll be probably underdogs, but our boys will just come out fighting and hope that it breaks our way.
And remember when they last played in a grand final in 1979, and the Blues won it by 5 points. Well, naturally, the Geelong camp was shattered. Collingwood had beaten them in the preliminary final last year by 4 points, and this time it was 7. The Cats have won only 1 final out of 5 appearances in the last 2 years, and it seems it's VFL Park which beats them. All 4 finals appearances there in the last 2 years have resulted in defeat. It was a game they should never have lost, and Peter Booth asked coach Billy Goggin how they managed it.
Well, it's probably our forwards let us down when we look at the game, the amount of times we had up there. Also the centre square, we didn't get it out well at all. In fact, Collingwood completely annihilated us getting out of the centre square, and we had control of the ruck. So I'd put it down to those 2 main reasons. It certainly was a disappointing loss, and a loss that shouldn't have happened. And
you don't think you deserve to lose?
Well, I think that we were the side that was good enough to win on the ground. I felt that we had the players there. Actually, they haven't done the job, so then you start to query it. But we looked the winners. We had control of the ball most of the time, and yet we haven't come up with what we've set out to do. So it's a very bad loss from my point of view, and I feel that I'm pretty honest in my assessment of football, and I hope fairly accurate, and I put it down as a really bad loss.
I know defeat is bitter, but a word on Collingwood.
Well, you've got to admire Collingwood. There's no getting away from it. I felt that they fought back. They showed a lot of heart, to get back in that last quarter, and a lot of guts to come back. And they really pinched the game just by being persistent.
Any chance against Carlton next week?
Well, they've got a chance. Carlton have got the better players again. But Collingwood have beaten them twice throughout the year. So who's to say that they can't possibly, bob up and steal another game.
Bill Picken, just out of centre half back, coming out for his 3rd kick. He was brilliant last week. Way over the centre to centre half forward. Mossop from the back, punches down. Fumbled by Bruce Nankervis, but he paddles it out eventually. Hawkins, long kick to the forward line. Zane Taylor at the back, outnumbered about 3-1. Picken scores level at the 18-minute mark in the first quarter. Boss with a big thump, but it goes straight to Ray Byrne, who's drifted right down to the forward pocket. At the back, Murray punches away. into the arms of Brewer.
Davis. Craig Stewart, rather.
Craig Davis off the ground to half forward. Murray, the fumbler. Strong play, Graham Allen. Well tackled by Neil. Williams, Taylor, clever bit of socket to Dacos. Back outside to Williams. Oh, great shepherd, Warwick Irwin. Hooked by Williams was a good effort. Davis! Super stuff.
He played the ball and put his body in front. Long hand pass onto Allen. Backing up is Toomey. Oops. Well, I don't think the hand pass was all that bad. Back to Cooper. Oh, shocking hand pass to Allen under extreme pressure. Ray Shaw showing a lot of courage then. Pounces on the ball and will get a free kick against Featherby. Plays on as cheeky as you like. Looks for Davis on the half-forward line and finds him beautifully. What a rise in VFL football in recent weeks. An unknown about 5 or 6 weeks ago, virtually. And has taken over Peter Moore's mantle fairly well. Boss. Featherby his target, and he doesn't let him down.
Relayed free kick plus a 15-metre penalty, and Brewer up towards the half-forward line now for Collingwood. Inside to Ray Shaw was good play. On the wrong boot, but kicks pretty well to full forward. At the back, Dacos! Goal! Collingwood looking to play in their 3rd consecutive grand final. Featherby receives from Mossop. Bright from behind. Barham towards the line. He'd like to find that line, but he keeps going. Now Williams, but Barham takes it. Goes across the face, but it's good, confident stuff by the Woods. Under the roars of the crowd, Picken kicks out to open space.
And Featherby's kick will put the Cats back into the attacking zone. 15 metres too.
Bad mistake at this late stage. Featherby, that's his 25th kick. That's all Collingwood at the moment. Collingwood in front, and Atkin. Has he come of age? At the Toomey.
Well, now to the mark of the day, and it was a day for high marks, the 3rd fine Saturday in a row since the final started. But the overhead marking wasn't really a feature of the game. Well, our vote for the mark of the day goes to Geelong defender Richard Murray, who dragged down this one-hander.
He's given a trip free kick away. Yates. Cooper. Cooper again. Now Brewer and Murray. Oh, great one-hander, Richard Murray. That's been the mark of the match so far.
And next week's match, of course, the grand final at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, the old rivals, Carlton against Collingwood. It's interesting here that Collingwood have the record of 13 grand final victories. Carlton are one behind them with 12, and it'll be interesting to see how determinedly that Collingwood will go in there, determined to keep in front of their old rivals, Carlton. What a match that should be. Well, that's all this week. We hope to see you again next week. We leave with the goal of the day, and it was a real inspirational effort by the enigmatic Rene Kink. Well, he kicked 3, 2 of which could have been candidates. This was a beauty. And in the closer, Collingwood's day at Waverley, and they were welcomed onto the ground by the banner's message, which included the name of the most watched football program in the land. Atkin ran about 20 metres at that one. Williams out of the centre. Bounces through centre half forward. Barham with pace. In front of Yates, but gets a bad bounce at the last minute. Bruce Nankervis paddles across the half-back line. Kink, good control. Well done, Rene Kink. Uses up all the ground. Hooks it back. Oh!